Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Today's video will be focusing on the best things that are potentially coming for Injustice 2 and personally ranked on a top 5 list because, as you know, I don't really like to do or make news videos in the format where you put like 3 pictures up on the screen and one of them being a tweet and say, oh, look at this tweet from Ed Boon, and then say, oh, that's pretty good, or hey, that's pretty good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And I'm really leaning towards a new format when it comes to an update topic like this. Anyways, don't forget to smash that like button with a goal of 170 likes and subscribe so you never miss an Injustice 2 video. With that out of the way, here we go. Number 5 is that a demo or a beta is possibly coming to Injustice 2. I personally feel like it's time for NetherRealm to give us a demo for their games again. I can understand why they didn't put out a demo or a beta for their previous game, which was MKX, because in MK9's demo, people went into the files and found out some information about the game in terms of DLC characters, I believe, and that I am sure that NetherRealm didn't want that information released as soon as that, and with Injustice, people went into the files yet again because the gaming community loves to do so. They love to get information that the developers won't give us, and you guess it, people found files for the DLC characters of that game, so I can see why NetherRealm didn't do it for MKX and potentially for Injustice 2. However, I do think there's more hope for an Injustice 2 demo or beta due to the fact that in the MKX hype days, Ed Boon didn't comment on the MKX demo question at all, and when he did, it was when he came out and said that there won't be one, and that was the only time he ever spoke about an MKX demo. But here, for Injustice 2, he gives us hope for one. Sure, Ed Boon has hyped up so many things and gave us hope that led to nothing, such as a Combat Pack 3, but this time, I think Ed Boon might be teasing something we've wanted since MKX. And for number 4, Black Adam possibly might be returning and Black Canary might be coming in as a newcomer. This one honestly doesn't come to a surprise. However, it's nice to hear that Ed Boon is teasing the inclusion of Black Canary and Black Adam. They're two fan favorite characters, and if you guys remember, Black Canary was on my roster predictions, and if she ends up making it in, then there's one choice I got right. However, Black Adam wasn't on there, but if Black Adam makes it into the game, which I'm sure he will, then that will most likely mean that Shazam will be in there, because it's like having Joker without Batman or having Sinestro without Green Lantern, and the same could be said about Black Canary. If she's in, then I think we can also expect to see Green Arrow return, which doesn't come to a surprise as well. Number 3 is the obvious, and that is Sub-Zero is coming to Injustice 2. Like number 4, this one is to be expected. Ed Boon did put up a voting poll asking us which Mortal Kombat guest character we would like to see in Injustice 2, and of course Sub-Zero was the winner, but I would prefer Raiden as I voted for him in that poll. Although it wasn't really a confirmation of Sub-Zero making it into the game, I think we all know in our minds Sub-Zero will be a DLC guest character because Ed Boon continuously emphasizes the fact that Scorpion was the most bought/downloaded character in Injustice 1, and we all know NetherRealm. If one character from wherever they came from makes a lot of money, then the team is going to repeat what they did in order for them to make more money. And if one Mortal Kombat poster boy makes it into the last Injustice, then of course the other one is going to be in the next. And at number 2 is that Watchmen characters could possibly make their way into the Injustice 2 roster. Now this was just recent. In fact, Ed Boon put up a voting poll just yesterday asking us if we'd like to see Watchmen characters in the game, and of course many of us said yes, because honestly, heck yes, the Watchmen should be in the game. Like many things, it's about time Watchmen characters get included into a DC game, and Injustice 2 is the perfect game for them. Now notice how Ed Boon said Watchmen characters, not character. So maybe we can see multiple Watchmen characters, and I would have to say probably 2 at the most, and obviously Rorschach has to be in there. If we're talking about Watchmen characters being included in something, Rorschach has to be in there. Maybe we can see Night Owl, but then again, he's too similar to Batman, but it would be cool to see the interactions between them, and a lot of you guys would like to see Dr. Manhattan as well. But here's the thing, Dr. Manhattan is basically invincible, and that's a really big part of the character's abilities and lore, so removing that and making him vulnerable to something like Gorilla God's punches or Sub-Zero's ice balls would be kinda weird to see, but then again, it wouldn't be the first time NetherRealm removes something important to the character's lore. And finally, at number 1, Spawn and Hellboy both could be making it into the game as well. Lots of memories go back when it comes to Spawn for me. I remember there was this big thing for Mortal Kombat X where it was said by the creator of Spawn, Todd McFarlane, that he gave the Spawn rights to NetherRealm/WB, and yet people still believe that to this day, despite the fact that Ed Boon publicly said that the conversation of Spawn being in MKX between the studio and Todd McFarlane never happened.
So I don't think that's part of the Warner Brothers library per se.
Yeah,
And
I
so-
saw
I saw an interview with Todd McFarlane where he said that he offered it to us, but I don't remember that conversation. Yeah.
Now, I am aware that Ed Boon has talked about Spawn being in MKX on Twitter a couple times, but they were never really quote-unquote hints of him being in that game because they never really led to anything, and if you look at the tweets of Spawn and all that during MKX, it really wasn't anything. It was just him saying, oh yeah, that's cool and all that kind of stuff. Until last week, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware of by now because the first time he was tweeted about him being in Injustice 2 was including him in a voting poll, the second acknowledging the fact that the fans really want Spawn, and the third time kind of implying that he probably will make it in. But like I said, nothing is confirmed. However, it doesn't stop there. The infamous Hellboy might be joining the roster along with Spawn due to this tweet. Now, there isn't much to say because Boon didn't really talk about Hellboy again, but I will say this. It would make sense for them to include more than 2 guests and go up to 4. It was the same way with MKX, so if the same were to be done for this game, I would expect Spawn, Hellboy, Sub-Zero, and one more MK guest character. And my guess for that one MK character that I feel that will probably fill that slot would be Johnny Cage, mainly due to him placing second on a voting poll put up by Boon. I know how a lot of you guys feel about guest characters, and know that I feel the same. I would really prefer them not to put more than 3 guest characters in the game, because as you know, I would much prefer DC characters to be included, but then again, I don't really care if guests come in. I've gotten to that point where I don't really care about it. It's inevitable anyways. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe for more Injustice 2 content, and leave a like if you guys enjoyed and ready for Injustice 2. My name is Brospo Productions, and I'm out for now.